Okay, I'm gonna do some winter sowing and show you how to do it. I'm using just a bottle, some bottled waters, scissors. I just have a plate to protect from dirt on the counter, and I'm using a cup. So whenever I fill the dirt with water, it can catch the water. I won't waste any water. I can pull water back if I need it. So this is just a water bottle. Take the scissors, because it's gonna be like a dome to create a humidity dome. So you just cut and leave just a little spot where it's not cut so you can take it back. I have some dirt. So some seed starting soil. Just gonna put the seed starting soil inside of the pot. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my other ones. Get them out of the way. I've got some cress, some stalk. So you just cut it. You don't want to cut it all the way off because you want to be able to create a humidity dome. Oh, I didn't put the holes in the bottom. You do need holes in the bottom. If you don't have a, take the lid off the top. And I do not put my lids back on. I leave my lids off. Some people use orange juice jugs, milk jugs. You can just take and use your scissors and you can cut a hole. You want to squeeze and cut a hole in the bottom of your cup, or at your handy dandy dollar store. In the Art Owl, there are these heaters, solder machines or little devices, and you can just solder. That's what I do. I let it heat up and I just solder. I just plugged it in and I'll just solder a hole in the bottom of my pots. All of them have them, but I'm just gonna show you. And it'll just burn through there and it just makes a little hole. And I use this on a lot, especially if I use milk jugs, because once it gets heated, it just go. It'll just boom, 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 boom. You just punch holes. And to me, it's a lot easier, especially if you forget to put a hole. So I'm gonna let this heat up. It's not heated up yet. Now, then what I do is I will go to the sink and I will put water inside of the cups. But I'm just gonna grab some water so I can do it on camera. And as a way not to make a mess, I just use a cup and I set the pot, because it's got holes in the bottom. So I know when it's full. Then it's just draining out in my cup. Yay. Now make sure all the soil is saturated with water. Now the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm starting some stock and like my filler, like cress, bachelor's buttons. I have some across the street in the ground, but I let those grow up about for 6 weeks, and I'm not sure if the cool temperatures that we've had have destroyed them, and I want to make sure that I have fillers for my bouquets. And so I'm just dropping this. I'm just sprinkling it. Now I did on some of them. I was recently very specific and poked holes, dropped it in the holes. But for these I'm not, because once they kind of sprout, I'm gonna let them get their true leaves. The first 2 leaves are not true leaves, but I'll let them get their true leaves, and then after they get their true leaves, I will take and transplant them over into the bed where I have my filler bed. So now I'm gonna write cress on just a painter's tape. And I put today's date, 1/30. And a lot of these love cold stratification. They love a period of coldness. We're coming out of that. So I'm going to set them outside. I believe that for the next couple of weeks, we're still going to have, right now it's 5 degrees outside, it's snowing. We're still probably going to have some of these temperatures. So I am doing another cup. So I just completed that one. So now I've got it in its own little mini greenhouse. And then I'm going to set it over here on the plate where I have some other ones that I've already made. Yay. And now I'm going to make another one. So the crest, that form of crest is done. I have another crest. I have forget-me-nots, anemones, green mist, and Dara, super pretty. White deal, super pretty. And then I have some stock. So, super pretty stock. It smells great. Beautiful in bouquets. It lasted, I'm in 7A in Kentucky, 7A, and it lasted all summer long. It is a one-hit wonder, meaning when you grow it or pick it. Some are known as medium producers, so I'm going to drop these specifically in the holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I made 7 holes inside of here. But there's kind of 3 ways that you can look at a flower. You can look at it as a one-hit wonder. It's a one and done. A medium producer, meaning that you can cut from it several times, or cut and come again. You can just, it's a zinnia. Zinnia is a cut and come again. A branching sunflower is a cut and come again. Stock is one and done. Single sunflowers are one and done. So I'm gonna just pour those in there. This is all frayed at the end because of how I tore it. But I'm gonna use my scissors to make, instead of a pointy end, I'm gonna make a flat end so that I can just push the seeds in the holes if it missed the hole. But I just push them down to the length that they need to be pushed down. I'm sorry I have allergies, y'all. And it seems like when I get online, they always stir up. Hold on just a second. I'm just who I am, right? This is the real thing. It happens. So now I've got the iron petal mix. So this is a mix. And I ended up dropping about 9 instead of 7. And so I will fill this out, iron petal mix, and I will put today's date. And then whenever I get done with all these, I'm going to set them outside. And in about 6 to 8 weeks, they'll start coming up. And I have some people don't. I have the patience enough. I think it's actually very satisfying mentally. But I have the patience enough to kind of moisten the soil a little bit. And then to transplant them into my filler bed. So I have a filler bed. I'm going to have a sunflower bed, a branching sunflower bed. Then I'll have tons of sunflowers. Ooh, that thing is smelling. I can smell it now. So, like, these have perfect holes. You can already see them. I'll use this as an example. Boom, it just made a hole. Boom, it made another hole. It does it super fast. So this already has some holes, but you can just see that the solder machine, once it's hot, it just does it so fast. So I like this because you don't have to fool with all the, trying to use your scissors and bend it and possibly tear it. I have some more cups over here that still need, holes in them for planting, and it goes super fast. something very satisfying about that noise. It sounds like popping peppers off. But if I went deeper, I could probably knock out 2 cups at once, but it just goes super fast. So much easier than utilizing scissors or a screwdriver or whatever. So, and I just got it from the dollar store. So one night I was in there and I was getting some supplies and I saw that and I thought, you know what, that'll be super easy to put holes in my things, my cups or whatever I'm utilizing, or even pots. Because sometimes pots, if they don't have the pre kind of divoted, and then you just unplug it. So I'm done. I did that probably less than a minute. So anyways, all of those are done. But anyways, so now this one is complete. And now I'm on to the deal. Again, put the water in there, set in the cup. So I'm just using one little space so that I'll make a huge mess in my kitchen. I'm getting ready to take a lady from my church to see her daughter, one of my dearest friends. And we're going to ride about 2 hours. But I wanted to settle my nervous system before we went. I just didn't know if I'd have time to plant, and I just wanted to plant. I woke up this morning just wanting to plant something. So now I put it back in my box. These are my Hardy Annuals box, my seeds. These are my Tender Annuals. So I pulled out of my Hardy Annuals what I know that I wanted to grow. Still, just because of the weather, I'm not sure what'll happen. It's been unseasonably cold here. And let me say this, as far as this dill is concerned, you do not need a lot of these. I planted a lot of dill last year. I mean, the anemones. I planted a whole lot last year. Whoa. You probably only need like 6 or 8, if that. I give away a lot of bouquets. I give away about 200 bouquets. But to me, the dill didn't last all year. Now I just take what's extra and pull back over the top, because I just sprinkled dirt to cover it up, just because I'm trying to move a little faster. Let me see what type of dill that was. That was the white dill. White anemone. White dill anemone. So anyways, but this is how you do it. All right, y'all have a great day. And the only thing you do after this is you set them outside, and then you kind of watch them, make sure that they're not at a place that they would get destroyed or anything. Did I already write on that one? Oh, this is it. Make sure they're not at a place that they would get destroyed or fall over. When I mean destroyed, they would topple over and then all spill out, and then all of your work. Now, because this is still dripping some, I'm going to set it inside that cup and just set it on the counter, and that cup will catch it. But this one, same thing. It's still dripping a little bit. Set it inside that cup will catch it. It's not dripping enough that it's going to make a difference. So I've got to do one more. I'm going to do the green mist and the Dara together, because I can tell the difference in those. And so you can't tell the difference when they first start growing, but you can definitely tell the difference as they start blooming. And I don't necessarily... Now watch this trick. So because I have water on my pot, sit this here, sit that there, pour. Now I have a clean workspace still, and it's still catching it. So I just kind of do little tricks like this to not make a mess. See, it's catching all that water. And if I had another pot to go, I could set this on here, and I could set that pot in there, and then capillary action, it would start soaking the water up. That's what I did to some of the other ones. And so it was started watering from the bottom before I got started. All right, so I'm gonna put the green the Dara and the green mist. The green is green. So that's about 2, 4, 6, 7 seeds. But I'm telling you, they're super easy. If you've ever gone into, we have Amish greenhouses where we are. We have Amish families in our community. And I went to, I was at the Amish greenhouse last year. 2, 4, 5, 6 of these. So that means I'll have about 18 different deal. And these are medium producers, meaning that whenever you, I put half on one side and half on the other. I'm going to take a little dirt. I'm going to fill it up. Press it in. Bury it the length. Take the little dirt that's on the outside of the pan. Of my plate. And put it in there. And then take this water that's here and just kind of dump it on top. Yay. And then put that back under there. And then I'll catch the rest of the water and I'll pour it out. But long story short, I went to the greenhouse and I saw where they had in pots, like a pot, tons, like hundreds of little seedlings. And the lady was sitting there pulling them out and putting them now, up potting them. And I was like, aha, I understand. So same concept, right? I'll put them in here. They'll grow up together. And then I will up pot them. I had green mist and what was the other one? And Dara. I'll mark it that both of them are in here. And like I said, the green is super pretty. You'll be able to tell the difference when it grows up. But if you're just starting, you don't have to do it that way. Because you may not be able to notice the difference. So that's all my water bottles right now. My kiddos and husband. I still drink water out of the faucet and refrigerator, but they don't. So they will finish some more water bottles and we'll keep them. And then I have some more that I want to plant to just make sure that I have filler flower for, and I could go order some, but why order it whenever it's cold enough right now? It can do the cold stratification. It can have the time that it needs in the cold. And I can just make a greenhouse myself. I'm going to put it inside of a little box and I'm going to sit it outside. Well, no, I have some raised beds out there. So I'm just going to go sit in the snow in the raised beds. And then once the snow melts, it'll just kind of sink down to the bottom of the raised beds. I have some elevated raised beds. Here, I'll show you outside. Let's see. I'll show you. So you can see where I'm going to put it. So you see all the snow, y'all? Look at this. You see my green stalks? Green stalks are covered. There's a green stalk that's uncovered. There's another one over there that's uncovered because I'm testing them to see. But then I have green stalks. I have elevated raised beds that that one has strawberries in it. And then that one's empty. So these aren't staying here. I ended up getting some lower ones, but I am going to set them in probably the one that's over here because it's getting the sun. You see where the sun shoots? Or I may set it in that one straight across because it's getting lots of sun all day. So anyways, I have tulips that are sitting on top there. I have some tulips that are over behind it. So anyways, but this is our outside right now, right? But pretty soon, that's going to be gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous vegetables and plants and all the things. So anyways, I just want to jump on here and show you how to do it. Have a great day, as my nephew would say. Bye-bye, yeah.